Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today, as a nation, we hang our heads in shame. The collective conscience of the nation has been shaken. The soul-shattering video from Manipur has left us all completely stunned and heartbroken. These daughters of India were stripped, paraded, and groped. They were made to watch their homes be razed to the ground and their family members lynched by a mob. One of them was allegedly dragged to a field and gang raped. The FIR details the gruesome ordeal of these women. The video is so appalling that we on Times Now have taken a stand not to air it. You can't air it. You can't watch it if you are a normal human being. And when I saw it last night, I just couldn't sleep. Can there be fiends, can there be beasts who can do something like this is beyond human imagination. And yet, it's a part of reality that this happened in Manipur. Not today, not yesterday, but 77 days ago. And we didn't know about it. What we will show you is the face of the alleged mastermind. This man on your screen, 77 days after the assault, has been arrested today. 77 days later, but note, within 16 hours of the viral video. He can be seen in this video allegedly groping one of the women while she was paraded naked. The police has also made a second arrest in the case within 24 hours, surprisingly. And not a word in 77 days. As per the FIR, the cringeworthy video was from minutes before one of the women was dragged into the field by these fiends and ravaged. Ravaged just so insensitively, so cruelly. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister has sent out a clear and unambiguous message that stringent action will be taken because there is anger in everybody's heart about these fiends who have shamed India. Excuse me. Even the Manipur Chief Minister has vowed capital punishment for these fiends. Listen in.
आज जब मैं आपके बीच आया हूं, इस लोकतंत्र के मंदिर के पास खड़ा हूं, तब मेरा हृदय पीड़ा से भरा हुआ है, क्रोध से भरा हुआ है। मणिपुर की जो घटना सामने आई है, किसी भी सभ्य समाज के लिए ये शर्मसार करने वाली घटना है। पाप करने वाले, गुनाह करने वाले कितने हैं, कौन है, वो अपनी जगह पे है, लेकिन बेइज्जती पूरे देश की हो रही है। 140 करोड़ देशवासियों को शर्मसार होना पड़ रहा है। मैं सभी मुख्यमंत्रियों से आग्रह करता हूं कि वे अपने राज्य में कानून व्यवस्था को और मजबूत करें, खास करके हमारी माताओं बहनों की रक्षा के लिए कठोर से कठोर कदम उठाएं। घटना चाहे राजस्थान की हो, घटना चाहे छत्तीसगढ़ की हो, घटना चाहे मणिपुर की हो।
It was a crime against humanity, and the state government will give possible all effort to get punish the culprit, the element at the highest punishment up to the capital punishment. We will make all effort to get it to them.
However, there are some unanswered questions which remain. Why did it take the police 14 days to file a zero FIR and 48 days to file the first FIR? No answers for that. Why did the video surface 77 days after the crime? And why did the police take 77 days to arrest the mastermind while the others are still free? These questions demand answers. And when it came for time for these answers, stormy scenes were witnessed in both houses of parliament as the opposition members of parliament stormed into the well, demanding a discussion on Manipur and the sacking of the chief minister. Listen in.
What governance is happening? Till this chief minister is there will be no justice. These killings will continue. So, for the sake of justice and to bring back normalcy, the Prime Minister should remove his chief minister and order a CBI inquiry and have a proper discussion in Lok Sabha.
80 दिन से घट रही है, इसके ऊपर प्रधानमंत्री चुपचाप है, गैंग रेप हो रहा है, तो इसे सब चल रहा है, तो मोदी साहब का इसको याद नहीं है.
We haven't heard the Prime Minister say a single word that he has to be held accountable. But he did this entire drama of wanting to resign and withdrawing his resignation. The country saw it. The country witnessed it.
You have to speak in Parliament. Enough of Man Ki Baat. We want to hear Manipur Ki Baat. And if you don't speak on Manipur, you will be accused of disrupting Parliament. You don't want Parliament to run. That's why you don't want to speak on Manipur.
Deeply concerned about the fact that the Prime Minister was silent for so long, none of us could understand it. Tell us what the government is doing, why it has not worked so far, and what steps should be taken in the future.
Well, when it comes to the BJP has questioned the selective outrage and the timing of the video going viral a day before the monsoon session. Listen in.
वो तो सदन चलाना नहीं चाहते हैं, इसीलिए ऐसे सब पहले ही केवट डाल के रख रहा है. तो उनका डिमांड था, कल क्या था, चर्चा होना चाहिए, चर्चा होना चाहिए, चर्चा होना. हमने जब हाँ भर दिया, ये नया नया बहाना ढूंढ रहे, ये ठीक नहीं है.
जब सरकार ने स्पष्ट कर दिया कि हम मणिपुर की घटनाओं पर चर्चा करने के लिए तैयार हैं, उसके बावजूद कांग्रेस और बाकी विपक्षी दल सदन की कार्रवाई को डिस्टर्ब करें.
दुर्भाग्य ये है कि विपक्षी दल इसको राजनीति के रूप में देखते हैं. हमने सदनों में कहा कि हम चर्चा के लिए तैयार हैं, लेकिन विपक्ष चर्चा से भागना चाह रहा है.
सोनिया जी और प्रियंका जी और राहुल जी, चलिए खड़गे जी, ये जो जोधपुर की घटना हुई है इस पर आप खामोश क्यों है भाई? महिलाएं भी थी ना उसमें. अगर महिला और गरीबों के संवेदनशीलता के प्रति आप जागरूक हैं तो दिखाई तो पड़ना चाहिए ना.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the legitimate question we are asking on the Newshour tonight: inefficiency or conspiracy? What's behind the Manipur horror? That's the question, and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the Newshour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate tonight, Poonam Mahajan, Member of Parliament from the BJP, Rajat Sethi, former advisor to Manipur CM between 2017 and 2022. Also joining me tonight, A. Sarvanan, national spokesperson of the DMK, Tehseen Poonawala, political analyst, supports the Congress party, is with me in the studios. Also joining me this evening will be Karthik Reddy, national spokesperson of the BRS. But before I go any further, I'm also getting in Dr. Shashi Panja, Minister in charge, Department for Women and Child Development and Social Welfare, and national spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress from Kolkata tonight. And Poonam Mahajan, it's a nation which is shell-shocked, stunned. And if you've seen that video, I don't know if we as women can even survive and speak normally after seeing such a horrific video. And to think that for 76 there was silence about this. Only when this video surfaced on social media, action was taken. And if the government could arrest 2 people today within 24 hours, first mastermind within 12 hours, what was the government doing for 76 days? Were you trying to hoodwink the people of India?
Ms. Kumar, as you are shell-shocked, I'm also quite shaken by this, being just not a woman, being a human being, and men using women as pawns for their fights is the problem in the society which we have to curb with law and order. What happened in Manipur was disgusting, embarrassing, as for humanity. But I'm hopeful when the Prime Minister took the cognizance, he said what has happened in Manipur, the strong, stern message is not through words, but will be through action, is what I'm hopeful for. I don't want to get into the inefficiency and conspiracy, because in coming times we'll come to know exactly why this video now, why later, why what is going on in Parliament. The timing of the video is not important. Right now, important for us and from BJP also is find these culprits, book them, and go for a strong message what you have done to women in Manipur. In India, this will not will ever happen again.
Dr. Shashi Panja. Dr. Shashi Panja, questions are there. Why was the zero FIR only filed on the 18th of May when the incident is of 4th of May, 14 days later? And the first FIR on 21st of June, 48 days later. But when it is time to ask questions, why is the opposition not ready to listen to the answers which the nation also wants to hear?
First of all, it is very barbaric, it's horrific. You were asking whether it's a conspiracy, whether it's inefficiency, it's insensitivity. You see, the very fact that 3rd May, Manipur was on the boil. And so many days has passed. Obviously, the Prime Minister was in the country. He was also on election campaigns. He also went beyond the country on international visits. We all were demanding questions from day one about the situation in Manipur, and that has to be looked into with priorities. It was just a question of priority. 78 days it takes for the Prime Minister to issue a statement. Understand, Navika ji, during this time, they say in Manipur, the internet was down. So obviously these videos have surfaced only thereafter. In fact, even our 5-member delegation from Trinamool Congress has visited Manipur the past 2 days. What I'm trying to say is just today, we have also gone through the interview which the Chief Minister of Manipur has given. And it is just horrific to hear that the Chief Minister is not aware of what's happening in the state. So this is a double-engine sarkar which they always brag about, the union government and this government. We really don't want to get into the politics of it. But don't you think 78 days it takes for the Prime Minister to utter something? It took the Chief Minister for the social media, to bring that video, and then you're aware of what is happening within your state. And he said there are 100 such more FIRs. Imagine what all we are missing out. Again, internet has been clamped down. So in this situation, questions will arise, and it is so important, and it is so, we feel so helpless. We are totally devastated, not as citizens of the country, as women, so helpless to see that, just look at that perversion there. But it was natural that Rajya Sabha would discuss this. This was of utmost importance. Rule 267 means to suspend all business and let's get down to discussing Manipur, especially when even Prime Minister today mentioned that he regrets what has happened and he feels very sad about it. But that's not enough. That's not enough. And it had to be discussed with utmost priority. There's so many things to be done. 150 or more people dead. And then, as I said, internet is down. You're not getting all the news. You're not even getting any kind of videos. But there is a lot of, destruction, death, homelessness. And in fact, the 5-member team which visited Imphal and Manipur also mentioned that the situation is extremely harsh and grim, and that they have gone to this place where people showed them, bodies, and they're counting there. It's so sad. It's really tragic. And that is why all business would have been suspended, and just to give that signal to the country that the Parliament is serious. all the MPs are saying it. That's all. That's all that one is asking after so much of debate. Churches have been destroyed.
Absolutely.
Temples have been destroyed. So many things have happened. It's not something very minor.
Absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely. It's heart-wrenching. And that video, I don't know, it can probably make a stone cry. And clearly, anybody who has a heart, I don't know, how can they be mute spectators? And I want to ask you, Poonam Mahajan, 78 days later, no accountability from nobody. The Chief Minister is still doing press conferences to tell the people of India that after 78 days and after possibly accidental viral videos that come out and literally shake up a nation's conscience, that he begins to look for the perpetrators of this heinous barbaric crime. 78 days later and no accountability. You are a member of parliament. Don't you feel like screaming and asking for the Chief Minister's resignation?
Ms. Kumar, resignation is important or not at this juncture is not my conversation to have. But very important is how do we make a change? What is happening in Manipur? When you look at Manipur and its history, when you look back why this has started, what are the issues with ethnic groups, using women as pawns from both the groups, why this is happening, how to calm this down. We need to work on these more important issues. I really don't want to do any politics of a drama of screaming because it's hurt me. Maybe I do not react this way, but that's why we are on TV from BJP saying that what has happened is condemnable and we want to take stern action from the CM. Police who were actually just watching and could not take action, there should be action on those police officers also. Video, I'm really grateful to Times On for not showing this video because this will only increase more pain in us, and politics of opposition and parties who want to take this forward will take it. Now, Panja Didi is sitting here and she was speaking about how their team had gone to Manipur and they spoke about it. But people, and I really don't want to bring politics, what is happening in Rajasthan when the ministers, Congress ministers say that मर्दों का राज है, यहाँ पे तो गलतियाँ होती रहती है on the floor of the house. When there are panchayat elections and a lot of women are gang raped and killed, a woman chief minister does not say anything about it, and today she tweets and condemns this. With due respect, when people talk about Chhattisgarh, Honorable Prime Minister, and we are very clear with this stern message that what we show in Manipur, the India will learn that women will be safe in this country. Women will not be looked upon this way as a pawn of their men's fight. And we will surely take this forward. But what affects me, I mean, it's the timing of the video. The video is heart-wrenching, it's painful. But why with every parliament session, there's something comes up a day before.
So Poonam Mahajan,
it can be international press conference.
So Poonam Mahajan, you wanted it to come out even later than 77 days?
Should be doing.
No. Are you recommending that they should have come out even later? Maybe 100 days, maybe 150 days later,
No,
because
madam,
it's not
this video-
convenient today. And when you're raising these other issues, I understand they are important and they've been debated. Ms. Poonam Mahajan, on the Newshour, we have debated Bengal. We have taken on the Bengal government because it is not acceptable. My question, Shashi Panja, is you were shaking your head when Poonam Mahajan said that Times Now has not shown the video. Do you think we should show the video?
No, what
Do you
I'm
think we
saying
can
is
see?
No, it's not showing the video. Don't be evasive, Nobody wants to show the video. That it's enough. There is enough on the social media. People have seen it. I mean, don't try to evade it. The point is, this truth is so difficult to digest, and that makes it all the more worse. That do not discuss timing of such things. I mean, your timing is wrong. We've taken so long to respond to what's happening in Manipur. What were we waiting for? There are many more such incidents probably. As I said, internet was down. You don't know what was happening there. So isn't it all the more necessary that the union government should have reached much earlier? You see, the union government has sent fact-finding missions and fact-finding committees to West Bengal to look into Bengal violence. Where is the fact-finding mission committees, teams going? Why is it not going to Manipur? Why didn't BJP send their own MPs to Manipur? Why didn't the women MPs even go to Manipur? Well, everything came to Bengal.
Poonam
Just to be on the record, no women were killed. No such, don't go by the script.
Shashi Didi, I will again say, then why not BJP MPs went to Bengal, and then why not TMC MPs have not come and said in Bengal what has happened? When there is a political violence, the Chief Minister herself, when we talk about states, law and order, and I'm not questioning Times Now or any timing, I'm grateful to Times Now not to show this video. This is more human towards...
Don't evade!
I'm not wrong, madam. I've worked all over India.
You see, your union ministers have said...
I think this is a party which is accepting where things are wrong and where we are making it right. My question is, silence of Honorable Mamata Didi, when there were gang rapes on BJP Karyakartas, their houses were burned. Why there was a silence on that from a woman chief minister?
This is the whataboutery which they will engage in.
I completely agree with you. I agree with you, Dr. Shashi Panja. Poonam Mahajan, I implore you, let's not get into whataboutery.
No.
I will invite you for a separate debate. Today, Manipur, simply because Manipur is unbearable.
Because
is unbearable. I understand. I'm not at all saying that Bengal is not important, or women in Bengal, or people dying in Bengal, or women being raped in Rajasthan are not important. I'm not saying that at all. But today, let's not deflect, let's not postpone, let's just not try to find excuses, Poonam Mahajan, because it is inexcusable. If you have a conscience, my friend, if you have a conscience.
Not even once. No, Ms. Kumar.
What about Brij Bhushan?
No, Ms. Kumar.
The Rajya Sabha?
Yes,
no, let's Dr. Shashi Panja, I don't want to distract from the discussion on Manipur.
It has hurt Shashi Panja ji also. No. I am saying it has hurt Shashi Panja equally. It has hurt me, it has hurt you. I'm saying acceptance of where the mistakes have happened, and stern action is what BJP is trying to say. The Prime Minister, the Chief Minister will take stern actions. It's delayed, yes. There is a delay. Why there is a delay? There has to be an inquiry, but stern action will be taken.
Tehseen Poonawalla, is that enough of an assurance? I'm opening up the debate. Is that enough of an assurance 78 days later?
I have a lot of respect for Poonam Mahajan ji, but unfortunately, except for whataboutery and generic statements, Poonam Mahajan ji is not making any concrete statement. Let's go through the facts. Poonam Mahajan ji, these women were not used as pawns. The Manipur police handed over these women to the mobs. Handed over. This is in contravention of the Supreme Court judgment on how police should deal with mobs. They handed them over. Point number 2, Poonam Mahajan ji, if the Chief Minister was serious about acting, the DGP Manipur should have been suspended. On the contrary, the Chief Minister of Manipur comes on national TV and says, you know what, there are hundreds of cases where women were paraded, therefore we shut the internet. Poonam Mahajan ji, the internet was shut not to protect the women, but to hide from the world, from India, what is happening to women out there. No, Poonam Mahajan ji, these women were not used as pawns. The government was complicit and hiding that these women were being raped, were being molested, and were being paraded. Poonam Mahajan ji, very grateful that the Honorable Prime Minister today spoke outside Parliament. Extremely grateful. He sort of healed us. us. He's the leader of our country. But on this day today, when the Honorable Prime Minister spoke, the Delhi police did not oppose the bail to Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. And that's what I want to say, that if you are serious, act on the seriousness. Ram Rahim is out on parole on today, where the Haryana government gave him parole. Don't go intelligent whataboutery. When will the DGP be suspended? When will the Chief Minister step down? What about those hundreds of cases that the Chief Minister is speaking about? Women being paraded, women being raped, women being molested. Why is the internet shut? Navika ji, the internet in Manipur is shut more than in Ukraine, where there is a war. More in Manipur. What is going on in our country? Is Manipur not a part of India?
Well,
how is this going on?
Well, then again, you will say whataboutery, and don't do whataboutery today, because Rajasthan also, wherever they were...
And it's wrong, but no Chief Minister said in it in Rajasthan.
No, but the internet was switched off, and that seems to be the first action that most Chief Ministers are taking when it comes to law and order.
Banerjee or Ashok Gehlot ji have never tried to hide
Karoli, just go back and check your facts on Karoli. But
Chief Minister here is hiding rapes.
That's neither here nor there, Tehseen Poonawalla. The question today is, why was there silence and inaction? And let me get in Rajat Sethi. Rajat Sethi, you've been the advisor to the Chief Minister till 2022. I want to ask you, yes, there is a deep-rooted problem in Manipur. Yes, there are issues of confrontations between different tribes over there. Yes, there are certain conflagrations that have happened after a High Court order in the first week of May. Yet, can the government justify the delay in first registering a zero FIR, then the first FIR, and for the first action to be only taken when there is a national outrage on it?
Well, Navika ji, first of all, I echo your anger, your frustration seeing that video. I'm myself appalled and aghast at what we all have witnessed. I can only share the sequence of events without trying to belittle the issue at hand. On the 3rd, we know, 14 villages of Meiteis were expelled from those villages, and one rumor started spreading that a Meitei girl has been gang raped. Over the night, because internet was in full flow, that rumor kept spreading in Imphal, and the very next day in the morning, this dastardly act unfolded. But not just on that day itself, on 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th, there was complete arson and lawlessness in the Imphal Valley post what had happened in Churachandpur. And there was just so much amount of, violence that happened. I believe around 4,000-5,000 FIRs have been registered. The entire state machinery had collapsed. We all understand that. A lot of these police forces, along with the armed forces, paramilitary forces, were tasked with the first thing that you need to come in and stop violence. Violence and collect all the weapons that have been either looted from the police or has been brought from cross-border. Try capturing all the arms and reducing the violence in the valley. That in itself being the priority, a lot of these FIRs yes, are still pending for investigation. And I understand your frustration. It took them, once this violence settled in Imphal, they immediately filed a zero FIR. When that local media actually reported that incident, immediately after that a formal FIR, 3 FIRs which were merged together were actually filed. And thereafter, like many other unfortunate incidents of violence, this was pending investigation, pending more people at hand who could do the forensic work, collect evidences and build a case and charge sheet. But this video, when it suddenly surfaced, it brought to light fresh evidences with clear identification of faces. Because otherwise, there are mobs of 700 people. How do you go out and investigate? Either you put the entire 700 people behind bars or possibly build certain evidences so that a foolproof case can be built around it. And I think this video, though it shocked us, at least provided us with evidences that these are the people whom you have to pick. A lot of them actually have fled into the hills, and it's therefore the combing operations are actually taking time to nab these people and bring them to book. Now,
so are you saying, Rajat Sethi, pardon my intervention, but are you saying that nobody in the state police had time to go through videos? Because obviously obviously this must have been there. There is an FIR which describes that video. So the FIR, whoever noted that FIR knew about the incident and
I did not talk about the video. That's the unfortunate part. I have read the FIR myself. There was no mention of video being recorded anywhere. The police wasn't aware that.
But the incident was recorded.
So
incident was recorded there, my friend.
And the two victims, have given repeated interviews to various supporters like the Scroll and the Fire. They have published it. They also did not mention a video was recorded because.
So the state government, Mr. Saravanan, the state government is now dependent on media to find out, interview victims, provide videos, even take out grabs of their faces and give it to the police for them to begin to take action. Now that is the job not of the police, not of the state government, not of anybody else in the state, but it's the job of the media, our fault, and the social media, our fault that we didn't bring this out earlier, we didn't interview the victims earlier, we didn't have the viral video earlier. So bechara state karta kya? How could they have done anything?
Yeah, Navika ji, the most important question is the one which you asked at the beginning of this program. Who's responsible for this? Can the Prime Minister, the Home Minister, the Minister for Women Welfare wash up their hands and say, oh, this is a law and order subject. We'll keep our hands off. It is okay if I speak for 36 seconds. It is okay for me if I just tweet, make a single tweet, get the input from the Chief Minister just speaking with the Chief Minister. So who's responsible for this? The BJP, the top echelon of the BJP is responsible for what is happening in Manipur for the last 77 days. So why do you think today, Navika ji, that the Prime Minister has chosen to spoken? Every political leader worth his salt in this country has requested the Prime Minister, sir, please say something. Why don't you visit? It is just 2 hours from Delhi or probably 3 hours from Delhi when you go in your shiny new jet. Why have you not made that trip? Mr. Rahul Gandhi was there. Probably if you had gone there and seen for yourself what has happened, this would not have happened. 2 things emerge out of this video and this FIR. If the Prime Minister has made the statement today, 2 things come out. One, that he is aware of what is happening in Manipur only after the release of the video, which speaks volumes about his much touted administrative capacity. If the Prime Minister has already known about it when the incident happened, and he has not spoken, and none of the BJP MPs or ministers have spoken, then that is a very sinister design. Whatever way you look at it, it is the BJP which is responsible for the situation that has happened. That is one thing. And you are speaking about media, Navika ji. Times Now is responsible. Navika ji is responsible. Why the entire country now is speaking about this? Because of that one visual. You are in such a high position where the nation listens to you. The nation wants to know what you are saying. Have you spoken anything about this? Have you asked this hard-hitting questions to the Prime Minister? I seriously thought, Navika ji, today that you will be calling Madam Smriti Irani and you will grill her. Why she had not spoken for the last 77 years, but you have brought in here a rookie MP.
I've also on many occasions sought many interviews. Mr. Saravanan, you want to target me, you can. But I've sought interviews from Mr. Stalin, Ms. Mamta Banerjee, and today, please, for the record, I've sought interviews from senior ministers in the BJP. I will continue to seek those. But for you to begin, to hold me responsible is a great honor that I will fulfill because I will ask the questions. But it is also showing your priority for the moment is politics to target Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which you are well within your rights to do. But today I want to ask, why are you only targeting the Prime Minister? Why don't you talk about the Chief Minister first? The Chief Minister doesn't even know that there was a video that existed, and Poonam Mahajan, apart from the questions raised by Mr. Saravanan.
10 seconds to me.
Okay.
10 seconds to me. Yes, Yes,
Yes.
you are asking, I am targeting the Prime Minister. I am targeting the Prime Minister because he has not chosen to act against the Chief Minister. Everybody knew what is happening. The Prime Minister tweets when there is a forest fire in Portugal. 15 people are dead. The Prime Minister tweets. 150 people are dead. We know about this. Everybody, every citizen in this country knew about it. The Prime Minister kept silent. The Prime Minister's silence is responsible for what is happening in Manipur.
Respond, Poonam Mahajan.
With due respect to Mr. Poonawala, who respects me very much. I know him for many, many years with his alleged questions. I could see only selective outrage from him. Second, from the spokesperson from DMK, I think he's not heard what the Prime Minister said. Again, the selective outrage is coming out of this. Mr. Sethi explained it, which he could say it, which newspaper and which news portals have actually put on interviews, what has happened, but that's also not important. It is not also important what Mamta Didi is saying here and how her party selective outrage is. It's not important when Mr. Rahul Gandhi did his political tourism in Manipur and actually the police there were telling him that don't come to certain parts which are sensitive. Still he did not listen to the police there. There are many things that have happened. What we have to look back and take a forward step, that whatever has happened now, again I'm saying, inefficiency, there is an action taken on this and there'll be more actions taken on this.
What is the action? Okay, please start listing the action.
And I don't think
what is the action on inefficiency in the police and with the Chief Minister's office? I want to ask you, what is the action?
So Chief Minister in 24 hours, they caught the main perpetrator. That's very important.
What about the inaction? You said action on the inefficiency, ma'am. You said action on the inefficiency. What is the action that has been taken on the Chief Minister?
Officers, yes. Action on those police officers also. See, again, action on those police officers also, which was alleged seeing this, what is happening, and still did not take any action on it. So there are many other aspects to look at, actions to be taken. See, again, I'm not here to talk. I'm here to show you and tell you what the Prime Minister has said. The action will be taken. And the step toward has started since yesterday, and they've arrested 2 people. And I'm hopeful, no, I believe this, that the Home Ministry also will look through this. As everybody were discussing, Home Minister himself worked with both the communities, Maiti and Kuki community. He sat with them on 29th of May. There were a lot of other actions were taken beforehand also. Taking care, I mean, Manipur is discussed now. When Manipur was actually facing problems, when Congress was in power, was Manipur ever discussed? Northeast should be part of India for this development, right?
You know, slightly pointless to go down that route. Pehle kya hua, nahi hua? Why was it not discussed in 2012, 2001, 2005? You know, these are today these are irrelevant discussions. What is important is what is in the FIR. And Dr. Shashi Panja, FIR specifically says all the 3 women were physically forced to remove their clothes and were stripped naked in front of the mob. Yeah. They were brutally gang raped in broad daylight in front of witnesses. And this FIR was registered by the police. I'm reading it out of the FIR. If this was registered by the police, was it just paperwork meant for no action? Won't that question be asked?
Yes, we also understand it's so sad. It's really sad. I mean, it's so difficult to respond now, Navika. As I said, it's so helpless. And the action is a bit too late. No, we are much obliged that the Prime Minister has said something. But having said of the FI, 3rd May, Manipur was, as even Rajat Sethi ji was mentioning, he's in a better position. The incident happened on 4th May. Be it a rumor, be it, the outcome of a rumor, whatever. There is apparently the Gram Pradhan who actually went to the police on 18th May with a complaint. And then, as you said, the local media, etc. But it's too late. The FIR came out too late. as they were so busy with other, controlling the law and order situation that this was overlooked. I mean, this is ghastly. And, the dangerous thing is, will there not be any accountability? You see, the constant denial of the truth is what is or will be more dangerous. If we continue to deny and if we continue to argue about this, that is more dangerous for the future. And that is why accountability must be fixed. The Chief Minister apparently had sent in his
Tehseen Poonawalla is the most important point.
Ma'am, on your show during the Karnataka elections, there are two things I would keep asking. When in the history of this country's constitution has Article 355 been imposed in a state and Article 356 not imposed? In Manipur, Article 355 is imposed. It's not just the Chief Minister's responsibility. It is also the forces from the centre who are responsible. 355 is imposed out there. And if 355 was imposed and centre took over law and order, why is the Chief Minister not sacked? That's point number one. Point number two, during
but there are reports that 355 may have been imposed, but it has not been notified. It's somewhere in between, Rajat Sethi.
And that's exactly the problem that's causing this issue.
Is that not correct, Navika? Navika ji is correct.
Yes, exactly. Correct. So you put 355, you don't notify it, nobody knows who's running the administration.
Is that the crux of the problem as well?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. 355, I mean, as far as I know, an RTI was also filed. It was clarified by the center that 355 has not been imposed. Additional columns of paramilitary and the Rapid Action Force have been deployed. There are more than 35,000 troops on the ground trying to control and bring the state to some level of normalcy. And I believe, that remains, saving lives remains the priority right now. And it's hard to say this, but there have been murders and killings and arson, etc., and all of those cases have been filed before the police. There have been such incidences which would require careful evidence collection, recording all the witnesses that is there. It is going to be a protracted affair where you cannot bypass the police. You will have to go through the police system so that you can build a charge sheet against each one of the perpetrators in each of these 4,000-5,000 FIRs which have been filed. I understand the pain.
I know, Rajat Sethi, you're trying to bring in a sense of logic into this. But can there be logic when you see a site like the one we've seen on the Manipur horror? Can there be the mind working when you see something like that? Can you actually even be normal after you've seen something like that? Can you really forget, or can you forgive the omissions and commissions that have transpired? The question is, will we continue this horror and shame to linger in the air, or will we at least come and report accountability? Because what has happened should never have happened to a human being, and it is certainly not something that any woman or any human being should be subjected to. Can we just indulge in whataboutery? Can we just talk about logic and history? No. It's time for accountability. It's time for action. India is waiting. As I thank my panel, on the other side, Governor of Manipur, Ms. Anusuya Uike, joins me. Newshour direct and live.